Hi, this is Kim with Intentional Private Practice. I am sharing a little 5-minute video with you about a question that I'm asked frequently. How do you get started if you're looking to launch a private practice? And while this applies, or my work applies mostly to supporting mental health providers moving into private practice, similar types of considerations are important for any kind of relationship based business builders, helpers and healers, or even just relationship based small business builders. So, one of the biggest issues for small business people and entrepreneurs um, in service oriented industries is that we have really strong training. Hopefully, in whatever the services that we're providing, we've got licensure requirements, we've got supervision and mentorship, and all these hoops that we jump through to do the thing that we do. But we don't necessarily have that for the business side of the thing that we do. So a lot of times people struggle to get started with that. Step number one before you even launch is to be thinking about and researching your expenses. You want to think about what are your monthly costs going to be to operate for things that are yearly payments like insurance policies. Take your yearly payment, divide by 12 to get a monthly cost. Things to think about. And this is not an exhaustive list. Think about your rent, your insurance, your licensing fees, your utilities, software that you might need, website design and hosting, marketing costs, business fees, accounting fees, startup furnishings, all those kinds of things need to be rolled into your sense of what your yearly cost is going to be. If you know your expenses up front, you'll be able to set your fees and the number of hours, compensated hours that you'll need to work in order to have a viable business. And you'll also be able to set your compensation, otherwise known as your paycheck. Okay. Next piece for private practice providers is knowing what you need as far as paperwork and records. So you want to get your paperwork in order and have a system for saving records that is compliant with legal and ethical requirements for your discipline. You can always should consult with an attorney to cover yourself and to review your forms, make sure that you're compliant with the different regulatory agencies and bodies that you need to be compliant with, which is going to vary depending on the person. So I'm not going to talk about that in any detail. Think about HIPAA, if that applies to your practice or not, and the impact that it has on your business. You want to think about if you're going to be using an electronic health record form or electronic record management system, or if you'll be using paper notes and how you'll be storing that. And if you're using paper notes, how you will be storing that long term if you're planning to scan and upload, or how you plan to store paper records in a secure way. Okay, next step is identifying your niche. I have a whole separate video on this, but this is what makes your work unique, what makes you an expert in the work that you do. And figuring out as much as you can about your ideal clients at the very outset of your practice is going to help you to generate authentic marketing messages, find the tribe that you connect with, and do what you're uniquely suited to do so that you can generate a practice that is not just financially sustainable, but it's emotionally sustainable for you and helps you authentically connect with your people. Next, you want to think about marketing and networking. So people aren't going to miraculously find you. They're not just going to show up and knock on your door. You need to get your message out with the people that are suited to hear your message, the people that want to hear your message. You need to come up with a plan for marketing and build your professional network and referral base. And that's going to depend on your ideal client, how they're going to try to access services, where they're going to show up, who they're going to trust for a referral. Um, Having community around you is super important. So, surrounding yourself with like minded providers that can support you in this process and can help connect you to others is also part of your marketing. It's part of your networking plan. Okay. Finally, you want to think about employee expenses, and you might be like, "What? I don't have any employees." So you are your own employee, and that's an important mindset set shift to get into thinking about. You need to take care of you in a way that you want to continue to work for you, just like if you were working for somebody else. What do you need to feel satisfied at the end of the day? And some of it's the type of work that you do, but bottom line is there's a financial consideration to this too. What do you need to make so that you feel valued and compensated for the work that you've done? So you need to consider not only a paycheck, but you need to think about vacation time. You need to think about continuing education opportunities. You need to think about self care time. You need to think about building a benefits package that's going to serve you. If you're the primary breadwinner for yourself and your family unit, you might need to be thinking about health and dental insurance, life insurance, retirement savings. Whether or not you're the primary person, at least some of those you probably need to think about regardless. So those are kind of my top considerations for how to build out a business and think about making your private practice a viable business opportunity for you. So I hope you found that helpful. Jump on to my Facebook group to chat about this. It's Intentional Private Practice Community. If you're not already a part, just answer a couple questions and I'll get you in there. And you can also find an infographic that covers everything that I just talked about. It's a blue, dark and light blue infographic on the freebies page on my website. That's www.intentionalprivatepractice.com/freebies. And you can just download that graphic for more details. So I hope you found this helpful. Talk to you soon.